Hello, welcome back. In the last tutorial, we have learned about what is programming languages. It is just a set of instructions that we give to the translator, and this translator can be an interpreter, and this interpreter converts the instruction into the machine level language that can understand by the machine. Now, how do we get this Python IDE? Well, we need to download it from Python Software Foundation. Let me direct to the Python website. This python.org is the website for IDE. Now before we download the Python, we are going to wait little bit more because in this course I want you to understand why we are doing these things. I need from you to not to just follow my tutorials and video but also understand the meaning and the fundamental behind it. Fundamental like why we are doing this thing, why you are going to learn. So let me take a pause for a second. If this is your first time in learning the programming language, I have good news for you. I will expel at the end of the day. Well, all programming language do the same thing and they tell machine what to do. However, different languages have different ways of doing it. The beauty is that most languages have a similar principle. If this is your first programming language, well, this is gonna be little bit harder part to learning first one. Afterwards, every new language you learn, you become easier and easier in the sense. That is not the same as English and Japanese. Two different language in the programming things become a lot easier as you learn the first fundamental language. Now, if this is not your first programming language, and let's say you have written a code in C, C++, or JavaScript, and you just want to learn Python, well, you are going to find this first couple of video quite easy. But bear with me at trust. We are going to get into some advanced topic here and we are going to make a full-fledged developer by the end of this course. But let's go back to the topic at hand. When people refer Python the language, they are mostly talking about the implementation that they are talking not about the language itself because language is just a specification. Okay. You can think of it as the document that somebody wrote says that hey, I am write the word list. That means making something in the Python. When I write something like print, list or whatever, that means something is in the Python. Mean of it. Now click on the download. Here here you will get link to download the Python. Python is also called C Python because it's written in C language. So this is actually what we are downloading from the Python. It is a programming written in C to read Python file as well as run it on machine. But there is also some implementations too. For example, there is a Jython project for this. This Jython translate written in Java language for to run Python in Java. And there is another programming language which is based on .NET framework of Python. So here is a tricky question. When you are download from Python, official language is actually you see the Python. So when most of the people talk about Python, they are talking about this thing, this Python thing. So we are downloading this. And if you want really get into the detail as to what we are downloading, well, we are downloading a machine that makes our Python code. It goes to the interpreter, which we download using CPython, and this CPython is going to create something called bytecodes. For example, this bytecode prints the hello world in our screen. Now it might look like a closely to you. Once it creates the bytecode that is closer to the machine language, it uses the C Python virtual machine. Again, just that runs this code. So don't worry, C Python virtual machine codes is never going to ask in the interviews. Actually, most of the developers don't know this, but I want you to see this is as a reference that what we write the Python code throughout the rest of this course, this is what is happening. During the writing the Python code, it goes to the interpreter. Interpreter goes line by line and forms into a file, what we call the bytecode. This bytecode that runs on the C Python virtual machine, which runs on our computer, phones or laptops. When we are downloading the Python, actually we are downloading the two piece interpreter and Python virtual machine. Alright, I think it's time us to learn how actually Python works. So just download this IDE and install it. After that, we are going to write our first program in the next tutorial. Till then, enjoy learning. Thanks for watching.